Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the show She Speaks at 10. Today, for Thriving Tuesdays, we have with us Miss Vandana. She is one of the leading entrepreneurs, or rather, many might know as mompreneur. She is the co founder of W Square, India's first co working and incubation center for women. Today, she will be sharing with us a valuable opinion on the skills of a woman entrepreneur that they must possess and the role of women leaders in our lives. Let us all give a very warm welcome to Miss Vandana.
Thank you so much. Namaste, India. Welcome to the show She Speaks at 10. Thank you, Ambra Foundation, for such a nice introduction. It's great to have a Delhi-based nonprofit organization working towards women empowerment. I'm also very nice to see your mental health counseling that you do for women as well, which is very much needed today and is a need of the hour. So it's great to be a part of such an incredible foundation and working towards women empowerment. And thank you so much for having me here to talk about my journey as an entrepreneur. So as she was saying, I call myself a very proud mompreneur because I decided to start my entrepreneurship after having two children. I was working in the corporate industry, and then I got into entrepreneurship mainly because it was more of a matter of a convenience for me because I couldn't go for a 9 to 6 job. So it was very important for me to not be to be there for my children more than going to work. And a 9 to 6 job was affecting more of a guilt factor, like every other woman. The guilt of not being there for the family, the guilt of not being there for the children worked more for me than going for work, and that stopped me and started helping me actually pursue into entrepreneurship. Before we start about the story, every entrepreneur, before when they get into the business, get into something important, get into their own line, there is a story that there also always needs to be a backing of. So what is that story, right? So that story needs to be something of passion, something that is actually relatable to them, something that holds, it close to their heart. So for me, I think that would be the story of how W Square was born. So before we started W Square, we were actually working in a digital marketing agency where we had a lot of women who were like me, working from home, who couldn't go back to work because of the guilt factor, or because of the maternity breaks, or because they couldn't go back to work, or because a lot of societal reasons that were around them. So we worked with them and told them to work from home for a period of like 4 hours or 5 hours a day, where they could contribute, towards work and be there with their family as well. So we had a community of 30 to 45 women working, and we had women coming in from Kerala, from Canada, from Chennai, from Delhi, from various Coimbatore, from tier 2, tier 3 cities, even from internationally working with us, who were content writers and designers. And we used to interact with them via WhatsApp and Gmail and so on. So that's how our story was built. And we started interacting with the women. We realized that a lot of these women wanted to get back to work, but they didn't know how to get back into it, didn't know how to pursue entrepreneurship, where to start, how to get into it, did not have the right mentor, or did not know what exactly they wanted to do with their passion. So we realized that women, more than getting back into work, they needed a community where they can speak about things where they had in common, right? So there are a lot of things which I had in common with the other women, and other women had a lot of common with the others, and so on. So they needed a community where they could talk and relate stories to each other. And that's how our story of W Square began. And we ended up launching something called India's first co-working and incubation center for women. And that's how our identity began. So after the story is when your identity starts. So how do you create your own identity for yourself? And we created our own identity by becoming the first movers, like the first ones in India to launch something only for women. But came with a lot of challenges by itself, because we needed to help women understand how important it is to have a community of their own, because that was something very new when it was launched like 4 years back. And we wanted women to understand why it's important to have a community, why it is important to have your own space to come out and work for, and why that space needs to be very safe. So this women only co-working had not just, women to work out of, but they had their own crash facilities. It had its own separate spaces. Everything was very ergonomic. It was a home that was actually converted into a co-working space, so they felt a little bit more comfortable. So we had completely converted that to make it more comfortable for women, so that they could come out of home and work here and get rid of all the mundane chores. So we had grocery service delivered, we had food delivered at the co-working space, and so on. So we created an entire identity out of W Square, where we made sure that we listened to what women wanted and made, ensured that it was answered through the co-working space. But it was not just the space that women wanted, but it was also a lot of mentoring, a lot of help that they wanted when it came to creating their own identities. Like, a lot of women wanted to know how to start a business, how to register the business. A lot of women wanted to know if they wanted to put in their money in entrepreneurship when it comes to marketing, or when it comes to building their team, or when it comes to, expanding their business a bit more. So there were a lot of roadblocks that women had when it came to expanding their business, or when it came to just starting it, but they did not have the right access to it, the right knowledge to it, or say the right skills to it. Because when it comes to networking, women are not very open to it, because it is just because of the society that we have come from, where we do not go out and network a lot when it comes to business networking. We don't have that much access to a lot of business networking, or networking events that we go to, where it came like 4 years back, coming out from a conservative society. So these were the typical type of roadblocks that we had. And there were also a lot of mental health concerns, like, how am I going to have work-life balance? Are my communication skills good enough, because I'm coming back after a 4 5 year break, to have enough knowledge about what is happening in the current market, because I have a gap of 4 years after a maternity. So do I know enough about what's happening in the market? So the confidence was a bit low compared to how it was 4 years back. So all of this mental health issues were also there, which you needed to address. Motivation was lacking. So how do I get them more motivated? That's when we wanted to understand the market, which is the third point that we wanted to come into, where you need to understand the market that you get into. So you create an identity for yourself, and then you understand your market. So we try to understand our women market, and we wanted to speak to all the entrepreneurs and tell them that, hey, this is what is your problem. So what is it that you're facing? Each entrepreneur we spoke to, we understood that what are the bottlenecks that they are facing, that they are not able to expand, be it the digital transformation that they are coming up with, or if they wanted to take it to an online level, what are the roadblocks that they faced? If it came to funding, what is the issue? Is it pitching did they come up with, or did they know how to evaluate their business? So these were different points that we realized, and we started understanding the market, and we came up with a lot of incubation programs. We came up with various initiatives that drove and answered the main questions that a lot of entrepreneurs had about how to go about with their businesses. And we reached out mainly to a lot of women entrepreneurs in small medium businesses, a lot of women entrepreneurs in the tech space, a lot of women-led tech startups in emerging technology, where we wanted them to expand their avenues and grow up to a more global or a pan-India recognition also. So that's when we slowly started to expand our businesses from a city to a nationwide reach. And we started going to different cities, and we have a pan-India recognition. So once we started understanding the market, we were able to grow our business more. And we started to expand, and we launched our incubation program in London as well, because that's how well the market was understood. Because a lot of the problems are global problems among women, though it changes according to society, religion, mind perspectives. So there are a lot of commonalities when it comes to what are the problems that they face, or what are the different type of challenges that needs to be addressed. So that became a lot of common points that we had. So addressing the market was one of the main criteria for us to actually help us expand our businesses. So if you understand your market, that really helps you expand your business much more. So next was our business model. So as we started to expand, we were only targeting women entrepreneurs. And we slowly started to understand it was not just women entrepreneurs who needed help. There were also a lot of women who had taken a break from 3 4 years, who did not go wanted to go into entrepreneurship, but who wanted to get back into work. And a lot of these women wanted to get upskilled, right? So they had a 4 5 year break. It was not just the confidence or the communication skills or the technological skills, but they also wanted to know what was in the market. They wanted to understand how emerging technology worked. They wanted to be upskilled. They wanted to know what certification courses are available. And there was also a gap between the corporates and these women, right? So though there are a lot of corporate industries which are having a lot of initiatives that focuses on hiring back women, but they had a problem reaching out to the right type of women to give them these opportunities. And that's where we entered in as the mediator, where we understood what the women wanted, what are their skill sets, what is the added advantage that they had, and how, where and which areas we can upskill them. And we reached out to the corporates and we connected both of these and started providing more opportunities for women to upskill themselves, and then provide them with opportunities in emerging technology. And that's when we realized that the number of senior women leaders in technology is actually less than 10%. And it became a vision for us to actually increase the number of women leaders in technology to more than 10% and start driving more women in technology. So we slowly started to create a niche for ourselves where we only addressed women in emerging technology to get back to work. So our focus started driving into training women in emerging technology and then getting them placed in various corporate industries. So that's how we slowly started to expand our market as well. So we branched it out into different areas, and our business model also grew out that way. So this way, when it came to entrepreneurship, we were only able to reach out to various brands that supported entrepreneurship. But when we got into hiring women getting back into work, our business model expanded to corporates, to Fortune 500 companies as well. And that's how we were able to also expand our business model. And then we slowly realized that the issue is not just raised here, but it also goes into the pipeline. And now W Square also works with female students who are in colleges, because if you see the number of women who go into engineering colleges are 50%, but when they go into the hiring, it slowly reduces to 30%, 20%, and then in the senior level it just comes down to 10%. So while the hiring is 50, while when women get into education it's 50% in engineering, the senior leadership position is only at 10%. So we wanted to address this right at the pipeline, and we have now started going right back into the base where we're educating more women to understand why they need to be constantly upskilled, why it's okay to get back into work after a maternity break, why it's okay to get back into work after getting married, and understanding how and where you can upskill yourself. So now we have got into the baseline of reaching out to women in colleges itself. So this is how we slowly started understanding the problems and understanding their stories, and then realizing how we can also increase our business model this way. So that's how you create a story for yourself. Now if you see about how our story has developed, is our vision has always been the same. Like, we have always wanted women to get back to work. So be it when we started off the company, when we started our first digital marketing agency, where we reached out to women who have taken a break and who wanted to get back to work. We wanted them to get into work somehow, wanted them to get out of their homes and take some time off to be out so that they can be financially independent. Our vision has always been for women to be financially independent and to get back to work. So our vision was the same, but our approach of the problem has been always different. So how has it been different is that initially, while we were focusing only on entrepreneurship, we slowly started encouraging women to get back to work, be it in the corporates or be it students, to give them knowledge on why it's important for them to be working and to be financially independent. So that's how you start building yourself, right? So as long as your vision is the same, our vision has always been to increase the number of women entrepreneurs from 14% to 15%. It's been to increase the number of senior leaders in women technology more than 10%. Our vision has been the same, but approaching that problem, creating solution for that can be as much as possible. So always remember that there might be challenges. Of course, now a lot of entrepreneurs are facing challenges because of the entire pandemic. We have had challenges because all our initiatives have always been offline. So we have gone and we have met the women, we've spoken to them, we have always been part of all initiatives. So it has been easy for us to get feedback there from them on all initiatives. But now that everything has been virtual, this has created a kind of a block for us to reach out to them and receive the right type of feedback or to understand. But the advantage that we have received is we have got from this is more women are now reaching and converting to digital transformation. We have more women wanting to understand how digital media works, how they can take their products to a more e-commerce level. How can they sell it on an e-commerce platform, which means they gain a pan-India recognition, which means they gain a global recognition. So what we are doing now is finding out how we can give our women entrepreneurs a global recognition. So we have reached out to a lot of programs abroad in Germany, in London, in Ireland, where we want women to have access to global mentors, to global leaders, so they can have a global recognition. So that's how you take advantage of a challenge. So it's all about how you look at a challenge as an opportunity and not a challenge as a disadvantage. So that's always been how your learning is. Again, this is a different way of how you're looking at finding a solution. But our solution, our vision has always been the same. So a very important takeaway we believe that you should have is you can approach the problem any way that you want, but never, your objective, end objective, and your vision for your company must never change. So ensure that never changes. Your revenue models can change. Your, the way you look at the market can change, but ensure that your solution, your vision for your company never changes, because if that changes, the entire outlook of your company, your brand story, your brand identity, everything actually changes for you. So, and if that, always make sure that is always remains the same for you, because we have had a lot of women come and tell us that we don't know how to go about it. Do we need to look at some other options? But then you're changing the entire role of your company. So it's very important to understand this. Your approaches can always be different, especially with the pandemic. You can look at different ways of approaching a problem, right? You can go completely online, you can go offline, you can look at influencer marketing, you can look at having a branding about yourself. So all of this really makes a difference for you. So I think that is very important. And one thing that I tell all my women entrepreneurs all the time is, don't be shy to blow your own trumpet, right? This is the age, this is the world where it's very important for women to blow our own trumpet. It's very important to talk about our achievements. It's important to be selfish and talk about us, right? Because there are very few women role models out there. A lot of women need more women to talk about us. End of the day, a tribe of women need to be there behind our back to pull a woman up. That's very important, right? So be there and talk about your achievements, put it up on Instagram, put it up on LinkedIn, talk about what you have done, what you have learned, where you have gone, what is it that you have achieved. It's very important that you tell, because even if 5 people have read about it, at least 3 women would have been inspired by your story and would want to, either get back to work or start their own businesses or be motivated to actually work after pandemic. That is very important for us, because the end of the day, all women need to be financially independent, be it in any small way possible. It can be a small home-based business that they can do. It can be a consulting business. It can be a getting back into a software job. It can be getting back into work in emerging technology. It can be a women-led startup. Anything is, end of the day, keeping you financially independent, and that gives you a lot of clarity when it comes to looking at your future. And we think that is very important, and that cannot happen if we don't have more role models. And we'll have more role models if more women start speaking out. Even though there are a lot of successful women out there, there are very few who actually talk about their stories, who talk about how they are able to achieve so much. Like I said, the problems when we understood the market, realized the problems, that a lot of challenges that a lot of women face are there globally, right? Everywhere that you've been to, they talk about the same issues about, leadership, pay parity. Everything seems to be common when it comes to everywhere across the globe. But speaking about it seems to be very different when it comes to, a lot of women out there. So always make sure that you talk about it. Always make sure that you blow your own trumpet, and, that helps more women leaders out there come out and be more open about their story and feel motivated to talk about you, because only we can inspire more women to grow. only we can inspire